no boys at all. Like, can't come over and watch TV on the couch. I'm like, what kind of mom are you? Hey y'all, it's your girl Marshall. I'm back with another video. Today we're doing a story time on an incident that happened with my mom catching me with my high school sweethearts. This is a story that was just really embarrassing, so stay tuned. When I was in high school, this high school that I went to many different schools. My mom, she just had me hopping to different schools, so I was like always the new girl. Like, oh, who's the new girl? Who's the new girl? And you know, all these girls, they would be so mad because she's like, oh, she thinks she all that. She got long hair. She light skinned. So you know, I was always the new girl. It was always some beef. So I was a new girl at, you know, this high school, and I stayed at this high school for a pretty long time. I stayed at this high school from 9th to 10th grade. That was long for me. That was long for me because I always switched schools like every year almost. It was crazy. So I always dated a guy that was older than me, you know? So I was in 9th grade dating a junior. We met one day. He was like throwing the ball. He was on the football team and the basketball team. He was like super tall. So I had this thing for like really tall guys. And back then, that's when light-skinned guys were in, you know. So he was light-skinned and tall, you know. One day I was coming out of my class and he threw the ball to me and I caught it. Like, I don't know, he just was throwing the ball back and forth with his friend, and one day I just like intervened because I like always wanted to talk to him. Come later to find out, he always wanted to talk to me, but it was just never at the right moment. So he threw the ball or whatever, he was like throwing the ball back and forth with his friend and I caught it. So that's when he got my number from a friend that was taking the same class as me. You know, it was one of his friends. And so he ended up getting my number, and from there, you know, we started talking and texting and everything. After a few months and, you know, after a while, we got to the point where, you know, I was sneaking him to my house. Yes, I was sneaking him to my house. It was a while before I invited him to my house because my mom was the type of mom where she was like, oh, you know, no boys at all. Like, can't come over and watch TV on the couch. I'm like, what kind of mom are you? You're not cool at all. Like, she did not let me go to nobody's house to spend the night because she already knew how it went down. Like, oh, you going over there to see boys? Like, my mom did not play the music, okay? So I was like, oh, okay. I didn't have no choice but to sneak him in my room. And this is how my mom messed up. She put my room on the basement level. So I had every opportunity to let him through the window. So her room was upstairs and my room was like on the bottom level in the basement. Downstairs, it was like a whole big finished room. It was a game room, everything down there. One day when she was out working, I got this bright idea to invite him into my mom's house. I didn't sneak him through the window. I let him walk right through the front door. And we went into my room. We were just kissing and, you know, just, you know, doing little harmless stuff. Now, remind you, my mom never comes into my room. Never, ever, ever. This day, she comes into my room. She's opening the garage. And I don't know what made her just walk into my room. She never comes into my room. She walks into my room and she's like, hey, Marshall. And I'm like, rushing to the door, like, hey, Mom, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, what's going on? What's going on in here? And she pushes me to the side and, oh God, before she gets into the room, he like jumps onto the other side of my bed and he's hiding. He's hiding on the side of my bed. So she's like, what's going on? What's going on here? I was like, nothing. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? There's something going on here. So she's like, then she glances down at the floor. He leaves his shoes! His shoes is on the side of the bed! Ah! She's like, a boy's shoes? It's a boy in here! Come out right now! And I'm like, Mom, no. I was like, no. So he like slowly, like, I'm like, just come on. Just come on. Come on. So his tall ass come on out from the side of the bed. And we just standing in the hallway, like right beside my room. And she's like, oh my gosh, like how long has this been happening? And are you pregnant? What? Because she thought the extreme when she saw a boy in the room. Like, I'm like, Mom, what do you mean I'm pregnant? I was just like, he was like, me and him was looking like, so she was like, oh, I'm gonna have to call your parents. She called this boy's parents. Now, he wasn't just a boy, he was my high school sweetheart, but granted, like, Mom, did you have to embarrass me and call his parents? She called his parents and was like, if your son's back at my house again, I'm gonna call the police and he's gonna get arrested. I'm like, oh, you're so embarrassing. So, granted, he never came back to the house again. That concludes my story time. If you guys want to hear another story, I want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and drop some fire emojis for your girl. I'll see you later.